Now, Ireland, Spain, the Netherlands and Slovenia say they'll boycott next year's Eurovision Song Contest in protest at Israel's participation. They announced their decision after the European Broadcasting Union, which runs the contest, decided not to hold a vote on whether Israel should be excluded over its military action in Gaza. The boycotting nation said Eurovision had excluded Russia following the invasion of Ukraine and so should do the same with Israel over the war in Gaza. Correspondents say it's the biggest crisis in the history of the Eurovision Song Contest and exposes a deep rift within the Eurovision family. Meanwhile, Israel has called the decision to keep it in the contest a victory over critics who had tried to silence it. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now on the line from London by Arise correspondent Lape Olarinoye. Good to see you, Lape. Would it be fair to say that this is the biggest crisis in Eurovision's 70-year history, and there's little sign that the differences over Israel's role can be resolved? And in fact, it looks like more countries, I understand Belgium and Iceland, could pull out.
You're certainly correct there, saying it is the biggest kind of scandal, if you like, to hit this long-lasting song contest. Now, it's been brewing for a number of years now. We know that when the war in Ukraine broke out, Russia was almost immediately banned from participating in the Eurovision Song Contest. Now, of course, now the same is happening for Israel. There are calls from some of those members, like the countries you've rightly pointed out there, Spain, as well as Slovenia, the Netherlands and Ireland, are all saying they don't want no part in it if the EBU, which is the body that's responsible for this song contest, won't allow them as members to vote against the participation of countries like Israel, especially because of, like I said, of, you know, banning countries like Russia in the past from taking part. Now, the whole thing has become quite scandalous because there was a secret ballot that was held for the members to vote about the transparency and the way in which the song contest is run. Nothing, of course, was voted on the participation of certain countries. And as a result of that secret ballot and the results from that, we have seen that countries like we've mentioned already, especially countries like Spain, who are crucial to the financial contribution to this song contest, have pulled out. They've also gone as far as stopping their state broadcasters, that's of course Ireland and Spain, especially from broadcasting the song contest. So it's a huge blow because Spain is of course one of the big five. On the other hand though, Charles, the other four, Italy, the UK, France and Germany, are still going ahead to #1 broadcast it and to, of course, participate in the next Eurovision Song Contest next year. So far, it's a big hit to the song contest, and it also brings up the question once again of if you are a nation that is committing atrocities, to whatever degree should that be brought into a space like this, which Eurovision, the EBU, the organisation, say that they are politically neutral and culturally neutral, but it doesn't appear so.
Yes, it's very interesting that you talk about, because my next question was going to be about politics, which appears now to be an inescapable part of the contest. But would it be fair to say that what we have in Eurovision are these values of acceptance and diversity and universality, things that tie in quite well to ideas of human rights, which in previous editions of the song contest, various host countries as well as the EBU have really played upon those ideas and those kinds of values, haven't they?
Absolutely. I mean, the Eurovision Song Contest, the EBU, should I say, they have come out to say that they are, like you said, politically as well as culturally neutral, something that they have been. They pride themselves, they say, on peace, unity and diversity. And so for that reason, they find it very hard to get involved in the nitty-gritty of this. But it's really important to note here, Charles, that despite their years of kind of unifying people through music and culture, the involvement of Russia in the war in Ukraine didn't necessarily fit that bill. In fact, they were very swift in condemning Russia and actually removing them from being able to participate. But now we fast forward to Israel's contribution and participation. It's a completely different scenario. In fact, there are allegations that there have been interference from Israel's competitor, who actually came up as runner-up, the elements of promotion and that kind of thing, voting bodies, experts, juries, all of those elements are stuff that the EBU have now included in that secret ballot. But actually the real issue of participation, which they've once gone against in the past with Russia, they're not willing to do that again. And in fact, they're trying to make sure that it's part and parcel of how the song contest is run and judged. So yes, in answer to your question, it does pride itself on being this body of unification. Millions of people around the world watch, engage and enjoy it. But when does that line get blurred, whereby politically and cultural issues happening all over the world, which are affecting the same viewers who are watching and participating, when does that line get blurred, whereby bodies like the EBU should interfere, especially, Charles, that if they've done it before?
And very briefly, Lape, because we are in fact out of time. I mean, it's called the Eurovision Song Contest, but Israel participates, as does Australia. I mean, how did that happen? How did it go beyond Europe?
Very good question there, Charles. I mean, as the years have gone by, the inclusion and participation, the criteria has changed. There is an element of financial backing and financial contribution here for the Eurovision Song Contest. It started off as mainly being a kind of a Eurocentric song competition. But as the years have gone on, they have become more inclusive to certain countries. Could they go a bit further? Absolutely. And that is, of course, all the things that are going to become part of the discourse of the future of the Eurovision Song Contest, if there is one, based off of all this lack of participation.
Lape, thanks very much indeed. Lape Olarinoye is a RISE correspondent. She was talking to me on the line there from London.